Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Svempa. Today I'm going to give you a couple of replays about concerning the T57 Tier 10 American heavy tank, the American autoloader extraordinaire. And before you even think about it, this is not going to be a garage review in that type of sense. I'm just going to quickly go through the specifics of this tank, and then I'm going to show you how I play it and how it performs. So first of all, as you can see here, the stats are on the right hand side, which you probably are aware of, considering you probably play this game. And it's got great traverse. It's on par, mainly, almost everything with this tank, except for the rate of fire and burst, with the T110E5. And except for the frontal hull armor and the turret armor, of course, which is more on par with our good old friend, the M103. But the gun, as you can see, I've got the Brothers in Arms perk, which gives it a rate of fire of 8.44 rounds per minute. The average penetration and damage, of course, stays the same. A ridiculous amount of penetration, especially if you fire premium, which I try to avoid, but sometimes do. Thanks to the perk, Brothers in Arms, you get down to 0.33 accuracy and 2.48 aiming time, which for a quite sluggish heavy tank autoloader is more than good enough to punish anyone. You don't feel the aim time. It's just magnificent. And this 2-second delay between the shots, and due to the fact that it's got 8.44 rounds per minute with Brothers in Arms, it bumps your DPM, damage per minute that is, up to 3.3 thousand damage, which is tank destroyer territory. Just massive. And don't let the slow traverse fool you. The turret has a great traverse. The tracks have high traverse for a heavy tank, and it's just surprisingly mobile. You can dodge artillery quite successfully in this tank. Not always, considering it's an American tank, so splash deals damage to you quite a lot, and quite annoyingly, so to speak. As you can see, it's quite light, so it's not really a ramming machine per se. It can ram people, but I don't recommend it unless you have to. And yeah, basically I think that's all I wanted to say. You can see what I've gone with otherwise. Repairs a must on any tank, and of course keeping the aim time to a minimum. I use the vertical stabilizer and gun lane drive, which I think makes the aim time even lower than 2.48. So I'm probably down at 2.4 or something. And smooth ride and snapshot, well, you can just guess why I've used those. And vents, of course. And well, 203 frontal armor, you can get a lot of bounces. And it's got the view range on par with almost any other American tank, except for the Scouts. Single range doesn't matter. But anyway, it's got a lot of HP, and I'm now going to show you what it can do. Hello then, here we are. This is Malinovka. I am, as always, in a platoon, this time with Rain. Rain has a bit of a bad luck game, but however, I generally make one or two mistakes in this tank. I generally, when I play, I make sure that I take advantage fully of the HP I've got. And in this tank you can. I'm going to start off with some massive bad luck here. Missing one or two shots, and that one wasn't even close to going in. One of the main reasons why I started this replay series off with a bit of a Garageview was that I wouldn't have to tell you about the mechanics of the tank while in a game. But as you can see, I did not make full use of the short aiming time Brothers in Arms enabled me in this tank when trying to kill that E75. I would have made 400 more damage on him. Would have made it possible for me to put one more shot into him and maybe even get the kill, considering that everyone was firing on that E75. And the reason why I stopped there at the beginning was mainly because it generally is quite important for me to... yeah, if you can take out an E75 at the start of a game, you really should try and take that chance. The sad part was that no one took out one of the IS-4s, which I will be unhappily taking a bit of damage in because of. As you can see here, I'm wasting shots. It's not that smart, but the thing with this tank is that you generally can afford to waste shots, both because of the fact that it has a great credit multiplier, this tank. Why? I have no idea. Maybe it's to compensate for the fact that the T54E1 and the T69 are meh in that department, but that would just be uncharacteristic of wargaming. And due to the fact that the reload time of the clip is about 23 seconds, it really doesn't matter. And as you can see, I was a bit unlucky there with that shot. 90% chance of going in, didn't. And as you can see, the aim on the move in this tank is beautiful. To a certain extent, incredible even. But as you can see, I have yet to take any damage, even though I've been spotted on several occasions. And here's one of the things that annoy me about this game. I graze the building, and all of a sudden, 50% of the cover that the building can provide for you is gone. Due to the angles on this tank, you can generally be quite sure that you will get bounces if you play hull down and make sure to point your turret towards the enemy. But if the enemy is firing heat, which the IS-4s in this game are doing, you will get penetrated. Due to the massive penetration of the guns on the IS-4, which is about 400, which is madness. But it's, I think, to compensate for other shortcomings. And I will be taking a shot that could have gone in there, but no, it didn't. And I get a heat shell in my turret as a thanks. Anyway, as you can see, I've done fuck all damage and taken even less. Partly due to the ineptitude of the artillery, but also partly due to the fact that this tank is quite maneuverable. And as you can see, the reload time is great. And due to the fact that the gun has massive penetration, this gun that is, the T57 Heavy, you can reliably penetrate the back of the turret of the IS-4. And that was a waste of a platoon. Their IS-4s. Not playing to the strengths of their tanks. And giving me 1 kill. Oh no, sorry, that was the T54 that I killed. But granted me almost 1k damage. But partly due to the fact that my team flanked them. Rain heroically sacrificed himself. And I'm asking them to pre-aim. To hopefully have artillery cover. As you can see, this tank excels at taking out high value, low HP targets in extent. Artillery. Need to get... and this is one of the reasons why you should try to avoid taking damage early on in the game. Yes, it's a bit of rocking glass houses principle here, but I haven't taken much damage because I haven't been in one position for too long, therefore not allowing the artillery to take pot shots at me. And this E1 decides that, well, I don't want to live anymore, so I'm just going to rush. Of course, it does make it easier for me to get kills and carry the team, but it gets taken out in the process. And this shot will go horribly wrong. The thing is that you generally need 2 tanks defending your base on this map. The rest should be here, or maybe there, because of the fact that you are very easy to take out once. My team got down into these woods here. We were basically in a good position to exterminate them. And here I'll be taking out the M103, showing off the amazing TBM of this tank. But as you can see, I unfortunately took a shot from the IS-7, bringing me down a bit more. But I know that there's Jagdpanzer E100. I know the GW Panther is mediocre at best. Therefore, I dare take this risk. But to be honest, I wasn't expecting their Jagdpanzer E100 to get a shot into me, which you will do later. Will get to be able to put a shot into me. And I don't like people asking for spots when it's important that as many people survive as possible in the end of the game. And here I see that he's a bit fail-angled, and I see that the Jagdpanzer E100 has been tracked by our artillery. So I decide that the best course of action here is trying to get the Jagdpanzer E100 spotted and the IS-4, sorry, 7 spotted. I managed to force him to put one into my tracks, and well, their E100 is not a complete idiot, and therefore managed to put one shot into the upper part of my ass. And what I'm doing now is basically just... I would have been able to duke him into oblivion due to the fact that he's not very maneuverable. But I didn't have to, and I thank the artillery, but the 261 decides that I'm a dipshit and says no shit. But it doesn't matter. I managed to go for a 5.2k damage, 4 kills, and more or less win the game. Not single-handedly, of course. The artillery, especially the Object 261, did what they were supposed to be doing. But a 261 without any kills has basically failed due to the fact of the incredible aim time, accuracy and damage output of that particular tank. And yeah, let's continue on to another game where I hopefully play a little bit more stably, so to speak, where I don't derp shots, which should be hits. I'll be right back. And here we are then, the second replay of this compilation about the T57 Heavy tank. I'm in a platoon with Garageview and his newly acquired Jag Tiger. I'm going to... this is the game I am most pleased with. In this roundup, or review if you wish, but I wouldn't stress that. Because I feel that I generally take or make good decisions, and shows how this tank is supposed to be played. The thing with this tank is that it encourages you just spraying the enemy with shots. The damage potential is massive, and I think one of the main criticisms of this tank, many people call it overpowered and such mean words. The thing is that what makes this a stronger outer loader, I feel, than the French, for instance, and also the T54E1, which is just the tier lower, is the fact that the gap where this tank is vulnerable is very small, only 23 seconds, and a good player can negate that almost entirely by being cheeky and using the armor well. That IS-7 up there, by the way, is going to be a bit of an annoyance on me. He'll be putting I think one shot into me, to be honest, but he gets himself into a position where he can hurt me, where I am not able to hurt him. Luckily though, I won't need to pay him any real mind. But yeah, like I said, this will be quite an interesting match, and I hope you'll like it. As you can see here, the mouse is getting his ass handed to him. And here you will see one of the reasons why I don't like this IS-7 driver. He's quite a good player, I think, at least in his IS-7. As you can see here, he's in a position where he actually will soon be able to hit me, and though I will not even see a lot of his turret. And as you can hear, I believe that was a heat shell. Not that it matters, because I was in a bad position and he was in a great position. I will be killing every target I damage in this game. Note damage, because I will bounce on this STI. And he will be getting punished for being trying to be smart. It's a good idea to push me and this object to the flank, but our artillery has none of it. And here I will show you the real strength of this tank. As you can see, I moved up towards the IS-4 because I refuse to have that IS-7 in my ass, because that would have resulted in me suffering from a severe case of death. And the mouse underestimates how many shots I've got, or maybe just grew tired of living. And here I can see that the IS-7 is really intent on getting the bad shit. And as you can see, I'm a bit worried, therefore I push up again. I will have to take shots from this IS-4, but I use the fact that I haven't taken any more damage to speak of this game. And now I realize that that 268 will have to die, And I also realized that he's got tunnel vision, firing on that T54E1, and I think it's the 121, yeah, probably. And as you can see, I've got no shot on the IS-7, and it feels like that Batchet on our team, Batchet, I apologize, has got control of him. And here I'm just trying to make sure that I travel below the radar, so that the object won't have an angle to spot me. Well, as you can see here, the object has been damaged by me earlier for 414. I will be the only one damaging him this game. And always try to track an object. And he repairs, times it well enough, but that doesn't matter. And there we are, 4 kills. Now I just smack talk a bit. And as you can see here, this proves the strength of this tank, which is that it can, as long as you make sure that the enemy have no chance to fire upon you when you can't fire back, you are always in a position where you deal more damage than they do. Considering the fact that, and I smacked hook again, considering the fact that your burst gives you the possibility of always having the upper hand, as long as you make sure that they can't put you in a position where you can't fire back at them. And that is the conclusion of this match. And now to the third and final replay. And here we are, the last replay. To be honest, I've only had 33 games in my T57. But I've been having, of course, quite a few more games leading up to it. I have a tendency not to play my tier 10s that much, because I am a bit over-ambitious, trying to get my higher tier, my other high tiers up until tier 10. Therefore, one could say that these aren't spectacular games in any shape or form, due to the fact that I have an average damage of 3,100 something or other in this tank. But on the other hand, this replay, which I will be showing you now, is by, as I said, no means spectacular on my part, but the spectacular lack of luck that Rain gets to experience is quite legendary. And the reason is that he will be rushed by their 2 IS-7s. For some reason, these are 2 good players, I know for a fact, and they rush in order to take out our T57 Heavy. 2 IS-7s sacrifices themselves, letting me do borderline 1,000 damage each on them. One of them only manages to get ramming damage in this game, and the other one, yeah, as you can see, they are just taken out. 2 tier 10s for the price of 1. Of course, it's one of the good players. Rain was probably the best player in this game. But, as you can see, he's been having... He had a couple of games before this one that were unlucky. So it's understandable that he's angry. But anyway, I am left alive, and that was one of the main reasons I wanted to show you this game. I do borderline 5,000 damage in this game as well. But as you can see, the incredible waste of their lives to no conceivable gain, considering the fact that those two tanks are supposed to carry the game, especially since, as you can see, they are in a platoon. So they could have done something clever, but instead they committed suicide early on and condemned their entire team. Which is, I find, one of the chief problems playing this game, especially solo, is that most people tend to do that. Yeah, I need one kill, therefore I condemn my entire team to death. And as you can see here, I set him on fire, he uses his extinguisher, and I say, fine, good night. And the 12T I can't shoot at because I was a bit too trigger happy with my reload there. But I react quickly to the fact that I am... they have people in the bushes, and pull back. And I figure, well, we're just... this is basically a steamroll game. But I wanted to show you two IS-7s killing themselves and condemning their entire team, and their E100 will basically just give up the game. The interesting thing, in my opinion, is how quickly players... I wouldn't say that they are good, per se. The best players generally try to play to the end. But a lot of people who could potentially be good players, or at least potentially... influence the game and improve by giving themselves possibilities of... I'm just trying to duke him because generally people tend to fire in the end anyway. He's probably lost his ammo rack because he will basically just give up. And there you see him firing like most people do, and he just says goodnight and re-angles slowly. And I'm a bit lucky in this game, considering the fact that I set him on fire with the last shot and he just burns to death. I get one shot into me. But the fact that those two IS-7 players rushed at the beginning made this game a win for my team, granting me easy kills, and basically proving the point that you can always do something, and how important it is that you don't throw your life away. It doesn't matter if you're low tier or high tier, but in this case of course they were high tier, so they have a larger responsibility. But you must think it through. Whatever you do, you've got to stack the cards in your favour, not just give them away. So that is just idiotic. I don't understand it, and I can't condemn it in harshly enough. And that's the main reason why I show you this game, because as you can see on my part, it wasn't, yeah, you know, 5 kills, nothing said about that, and I reload because I thought that the T-34 was going to rush the M40-43, but he didn't, so basically I let that shit get the last kill, and I don't get a Top Gun, but does that matter? No. But the point being, it's so important to always finish the games, and that is one of the reasons why if you leave for the garage too early, why you shouldn't just why you can't get back in. It's because you need to be punished for being stupid. And that's one of the chief points I'm trying to make by doing these videos. It's trying to tell you that you can always turn games around and never give up, as one of my earlier IS-3 videos where I lost and almost managed 5k damage in a tier 9 or tier 10 game, can't remember. But the thing is that if you don't give up and just rush away and commit suicide, or do something really stupid like trying to rush a single lonely tank at the start of the game so you get surrounded and basically raped, if you excuse me, you can still make a difference. I'm not going to go back to the garage for a conclusion. I will see you there. Well, here we are then, back in the garage. in conclusion, this is a great tank, maneuverable, good alpha, high credit earning potential for a tier 10, armored at least well enough, and a lot of fun mainly, which is one of the prime reasons to play it. And as you can see, I've named him Uncle Sam, of course. But in conclusion, it has some issues, but it's supposed to have issues. If not, it wouldn't be balanced. It's actually quite well thought through, but of course, in the hands of someone who knows how to play it, it gets infinitely better. And that is just a fact. One thing, yeah, as I said earlier also, that you can make a lot of money in this tank. I've actually had average games, which I've won of course. You generally tend not to gain money on a loss, but you'll even out a bit more or less, get about, like, you know, lose about 500 credits, but on a win you can get about up to 30-40,000 in income, which I've had several times on average games. But then of course I've had one game where I did 745k damage. I might upload that later. But anyway, it's a good earner for a tier 10, and especially for a heavy tank. So if you like it, or if you feel that this might be the tank for you, then by all means go get it. It takes a while to grind up though, 250 experience you need to unlock it. It's a beast once you get it though, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. So there you have it. I've been gabbing on for quite a while, and if you made it this far, bravo. I'm happy for me having someone watching as dedicated as you are. And if you enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe or leave a comment below and tell me why you liked it or why you didn't like it. And more to come in the future. This is after all a early impression video, and I hope to see you around. Until next time, have a good time on the battlefields.